So in the last couple of days, I've just been playing a lot of Skyrim, you know? Going around completing quests, exploring, and doing all the normal stuff you do when playing this game. And of course, as always, I've tried out a bunch of different mods. I'm always on the look for the best recent ones to showcase for you guys. But this time, as I went on Nexus, I found this nice looking mod right here. TDG's Legendary Enemies Enhanced Edition. Now that sounds quite interesting, right? But then I noticed that this TDG guy hadn't just uploaded 1, 2, 3 mods, but a whole bunch of them at the same time. And of course, when I saw this, I was like, oh yeah, content. But then you might be wondering, why didn't I include these mods in my last Skyrim mods video? Well, there are a lot of them, so instead, I decided to dedicate a whole video for this guy's mods, no matter if they're good or bad. Call it a mod review, bonus thingy, I don't know. What I'll essentially be doing is taking a look at these mods and let you know through a quick little overall showcase if they're worth your time, as I'm of course a highly experienced connoisseur of the art of Skyrim modding. Alright, so the most noticeable aspect of the Demon's Coat set of mods is that they're all smaller ones that provide enough gameplay tweaks and changes to make for a fresh, new experience for your next Skyrim playthrough. Whether it's this mod that lets you skip the intro tutorial, or the mod that decreases experience gained from doing things to make leveling up more difficult, or this mod that simply aims to make nights and interiors darker, these mods add a little something to your load order without causing any incompatibility issues. The first one of these I'd like to take a close look at is this Advanced Combat mod. This one shows many similarities to the widely popular mod Ultimate Combat. The mod expands on battle mechanics, making combat more tactical and visceral for both the player and the NPCs. The mod makes combos more important, as consecutive unblocked attacks each do 5% additional damage for every 10 seconds, which means that you can stack up combos of up to 50% additional damage. This just makes the combat more varied and unpredictable, as it provides you with a way to deal with stronger enemies when they're left open to attack. Stuns are a lot more impactful now as well. Not only does power attacking cause opponent to stun, so does being struck while performing a power attack. This means you gotta time your power attacks to the utmost perfection to avoid being countered. And yes, when stunned, you do take increased damage. Performing blocks is 50% more powerful upon the first 2 seconds of putting your shield up, making it more rewarding to actually look for those timed blocks. Another significant change to the combat is that the standard attacks now drain 10 points of stamina, and power attacks 25. But the stamina does regenerate at a much faster pace to compensate for that. Long gone are the days of thoughtlessly slashing through the vanilla combat system, predicting every move of your opponent and getting into positions inaccessible by the NPCs to spam them with arrows. This is yet another mod that drastically improves the combat system, so I gotta applaud the mod author for that, so there we go, I guess. Now, as I mentioned earlier, most of these mods aren't on the scale of the combat one. For example, the combat alert sound mod simply adds a small audio cue when the player is detected by hostile enemies.
You picked a bad time to get lost.
This just feels like something that belongs to the base game, as it's implemented in such a great way. The alert sound is customizable as well, with different options ranging from the drums to the modern ding you hear on your phones. Next, we have TDG's Crafting Bag mod, which simply adds an ESO-styled item to your inventory that can hold ingredients, resources, food, and potions. Yet again, man, we have an ESO-inspired mod. Maybe I should actually get myself to try it out so I can get a better understanding of these mods. Nonetheless, it's a nice addition to the inventory management system, especially for you hoarders out there, as the weight of each crafting item placed in the bag doesn't affect your overall carry weight. It works great in action as well, as ingredients and such are automatically transferred to the crafting bag. The Activate to Interact mod is probably the one of these mods that brings the smallest change, replacing the regular Activate text prompt for interactions like pulling levers to Interact, which actually does make more sense. I don't know if this is just me, but Activate sounds so dramatic. Like, for Talos' sake, I don't need a simple pull of a chain to sound like I'm about to blow up all of Tamriel. Interact just seems like the better choice of word here. Now, the next mod that I kinda had high hopes for going into it was his Wade in Water mod. Apparently, what's this mod supposed to do is slow down the player when they're moving in shallow bodies of water. This makes sense, and I do appreciate the attempt to bring that realistic, immersive aspect to Skyrim. However, I didn't see much of a difference. It didn't seem to work. Yes, this stuff occasionally happens. Maybe there's an issue with my load order, maybe it doesn't work with my running animations, I don't know. But this dude seemed to have the same issue, so I must say that I'm disappointed, as I'd really like such a mod. Just imagine adding a cool animation to it as well, where your character kinda hops along. Damn, that'd be really nice. Moving on, I really enjoyed the reallocate attributes mod. It adds a new shrine to the Guardian Stones location that allows you to redistribute the magicka, health and stamina attribute points. For a small cost, you can now reallocate these points in the middle of any playthrough, so you won't have to start all over with a new game if you, let's say, don't want to be a mage anymore, as you can simply take all those magic points and put them into something else. Ah yes, look at that. Everything perfectly balanced as it should be. And lastly, we've got the most popular one out of the bunch of TDG's mods, Legendary Enemies. If you've played Fallout 4, you'll know all about what this mod does, as it brings that very legendary enemy system to Skyrim while also adding high-level variants of existing creatures. It basically adds strong-ass enemies that'll end your life in a heartbeat. Oh fuck. To sum it all up, you'll see stuff like albino bears, as well as higher leveled versions of skewers, draugr and elk, and even mud crabs. It's these types of creatures you'll see for the most part, while the legendary enemies are a bit more rare to find. I was roaming around for many hours without finding any of these foes. Alright, now that's it for the mods I found the most interesting out of this bunch. There were a couple of other ones I wanted to try out, mods that add stuff like goblins, zombies and other stuff. But man, these require Creation Club content and I'm not really about that life. To sum it all up, the Demon Goat has definitely done some good work here. The very smaller mods make for a great way to change up the gameplay without drastically changing anything. The mods look good on Nexus with these custom cool icons, and although there isn't much information given on the mod pages, he's made use of the help section in-game. Overall, I gave all these mods together a nice score of 5 sweet rolls of approval, so do make sure to check them out and endorse them on Nexus. Thanks for watching. Make sure to give the video a nice like and leave a comment. What do you guys think about what the Demon Goat has delivered here? Also, stay tuned for the next episode of our weekly Skyrim mods show coming sometime in the weekend. Make sure to subscribe and ring that bell icon if you haven't already. This has been Gim. May your road lead you to warm sands, everybody. See ya.